Gilligan's Island, Cast Then and Now. 2026 begins with one simple question. Where are they now, after 62 years? In 1964, 7 castaways sailed out on a 3-hour tour and somehow stayed in America's living rooms for generations. But behind the laughter were real lives fans never fully saw. Some actors became forever tied to their roles. Some carried private struggles. 2 guest stars left surprising marks. And 1 original cast member is still here in 2026, quietly connecting that old island to today. This is Gilligan's Island, Cast Then and Now. No false rumors, no exaggerated drama, just the real journey behind the actors and actresses who made one little island unforgettable. Stay until the end, because the final castaways story changes the way we remember the whole show. We begin with Bob Denver as Gilligan. Bob Denver was born Robert Osborne Denver on January 9th, 1935. Before he became the nervous first mate in the white sailor hat, he had already made audiences laugh as Maynard G. Krebs on The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis. But Gilligan's Island gave him the role that followed him for the rest of his life. He was 29 years old when he became Willie Gilligan, the well-meaning first mate of the SS Minnow. With his red shirt, white hat, wide eyes, and nervous smile, Gilligan became instantly recognizable. On paper, Gilligan could have been just a fool. But Bob Denver gave him something softer. He played Gilligan as innocent, not stupid. Clumsy, but never cruel. He ruined rescue plans, but he never meant to hurt anyone. That is why families loved him. Off-screen, Denver was shy, intelligent, well-read, and remembered by many as kind. He had worked as a teacher before acting became his life, and that thoughtful side surprised many fans who only knew him as Gilligan. He also used his position to help others. During the first season, Russell Johnson and Dawn Wells were left out of the famous theme song and simply called The Rest. Denver pushed for both of them to be properly included. A lead actor could have kept the spotlight for himself. Bob Denver shared it. After the show ended, the role became bigger than the man. To millions of viewers, he was no longer only Robert Osborne Denver, he was Gilligan. Bob Denver passed away on September 2nd, 2005, at the age of 70. But for fans, he never truly left the island. He is still there every time the theme song begins, standing beside the skipper and reminding us of a time when a simple sitcom could make a whole family laugh together. Next is Alan Hale Jr. as the skipper. Alan Hale Jr. was born Alan Hale McCahan on March 8, 1921. He came from a Hollywood family, but he wanted to earn his own place. Before Gilligan's Island, he had worked for years in films, westerns, television, and adventure shows. Then, in 1964, he became Captain Jonas Grumby, better known as the Skipper. The skipper could have been just a loud captain, shouting at a first mate who ruined everything. But Alan Hale Jr. made him warmer than that. Yes, the skipper barked. Yes, he slapped Gilligan with his hat. Yes, he lost his patience every time another rescue plan fell apart. But underneath all that noise was affection. The skipper loved his little buddy. That was the real heart of their comedy. Gilligan made the mistakes, and the skipper exploded. But a moment later, you could feel the tenderness underneath. He was worried about Gilligan, protective of him, and tied to him like family. Off-screen, Hale brought that same warmth. He and Bob Denver were close in real life, and that bond made Gilligan and the skipper feel natural. After the show ended, he did not run from the skipper. He embraced him. He greeted fans, appeared in costume, and even visited children in hospitals. Dressed as the character, Alan Hale Jr. passed away on January 2, 1990, at the age of 68. But for fans, the skipper still feels present, still calling Gilligan Little Buddy, still losing his temper for 1 second, and still forgiving him the next. Next is Dawn Wells as Mary Ann Summers. If Gilligan was the heart of the comedy, Mary Ann was the heart of the island. Dawn Wells was born Dawn Alberta Wells on October 18, 1938 in Reno, Nevada. Before she wore Mary Ann's pigtails and gingham blouse, she had been Miss Nevada, competed in the Miss America pageant, studied theater, and worked her way into television through guest roles. But in 1964, Gilligan's Island gave her the role fans would never forget. Mary Ann was the farm girl from Kansas. She was kind, practical, cheerful, and easy to trust. She could bake a coconut cream pie, calm a tense moment, and make a strange island feel a little more like home. Ginger was the glamorous movie star. Mary Ann was the girl next door. That is why so many fans still remember her with such tenderness. For many viewers, Mary Ann was a first crush. For others, she was the kind of young woman classic television did so well. Sweet without being weak, pretty without feeling distant, and innocent without feeling empty. And that old question still says everything. Ginger or Mary Ann? For many fans, the answer never changed. It was always Mary Ann. After Gilligan's Island, Dawn Wells kept working in television, theater, interviews, fan events, and reunions. She carried the legacy with grace because she understood that Mary Ann belonged to people's memories. Her later life also showed a harder truth about classic TV. A show could run in reruns for decades and still not give every actor or actress the kind of security modern audiences might imagine. Still, what fans remember most is not hardship. They remember her warmth. Dawn Wells passed away on December 30th, 2020, at the age of 82. For fans, that loss felt personal because Mary Ann was part of the reason the island felt safe. Before we go on, tell us in the comments, were you a Mary Ann fan, a Ginger fan, or was there another castaway who felt most like home to you? Next is Russell Johnson as the Professor. Russell Johnson was born on November 10, 1924, in Pennsylvania. On Gilligan's Island, he became Professor Roy Hinckley, the calm, intelligent man who could turn bamboo, coconuts, and island scraps into almost anything the castaways needed. To many fans, the Professor was the smart one on the island, but his real life was even more remarkable than the role. Before Hollywood, Johnson served in World War II as a B-24 bombardier. In 1945, his plane was shot down over the Philippines. He survived serious injuries and came home with military honors, including the Purple Heart. That changes the way we remember him. The calmness was not just acting. The discipline was not just written into the script. Russell Johnson had lived through real danger long before he ever stood on a sitcom set. After Gilligan's Island, he struggled with typecasting. Before the show, he had played villains, cowboys, and serious dramatic roles. After the show, many people could only see the Professor. But over time, he accepted the legacy. He understood that the show gave families something simple and valuable, clean, silly fun that people could watch together. Russell Johnson passed away on January 16, 2014, at the age of 89. For fans, the Professor remains more than the man who could make a radio out of a coconut. He reminds us that sometimes the quietest person in the room has already lived the strongest story. Next is Jim Backus as Thurston Howell III. Jim Backus was born James Gilmore Backus on February 25, 1913, in Cleveland, Ohio. By the time Gilligan's Island premiered, he was already a veteran performer with one of the most recognizable voices in American entertainment. To many viewers, he became Mr. Howell, the rich man on the island who still acted as if money could solve anything. But older fans also knew him as the voice of Mr. Magoo. That made his story bigger than one sitcom. Backus had worked in radio, animation, film, and television long before he arrived on the island. He had voiced a cartoon legend and appeared opposite James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause. On paper, Mr. Howell could have been easy to dislike. He was rich, spoiled, out of touch, and almost useless when the castaways needed real help. But Jim Backus made him funny. He gave Howell a voice, a rhythm, and a strange kind of innocence. Mr. Howell could brag about money on a deserted island where money meant nothing, and somehow fans still smiled. Jim Backus passed away on July 3, 1989, at the age of 76. For fans, Thurston Howell III remains unforgettable because he made wealth useless, silly, and strangely lovable. Next is Natalie Schafer as Lovey Howell. Natalie Schafer was born on November 5, 1900, in Red Bank, New Jersey. Long before Gilligan's Island, she had built a long career on Broadway and in Hollywood. But to millions of viewers, she became Lovey Howell. Elegant, dramatic, and completely out of place on a deserted island, Lovey still acted as if the country club was only a short walk away. Beside Jim Backus as Thurston Howell III, she became one half of one of the show's funniest contrasts. Two millionaires surrounded by bamboo huts, coconut radios, and rescue plans that never worked. Natalie was also smart with money. While Lovey played a rich woman on television, Natalie became financially successful in real life through real estate. After her passing, part of her estate helped support actors who needed care later in life. Natalie Schafer passed away on April 10, 1991, at the age of 90. For fans, Lovey remains unforgettable because she made being out of place funny, graceful, and strangely warm. Next is Hans Conried as Wrong-Way Feldman. Hans Conried was not one of the 7 main castaways, so we will keep his story brief, but his guest appearances were still memorable. He played Wrong-Way Feldman, the confused pilot who looked like he might finally help the castaways escape. But on Gilligan's Island, help almost always became another problem. Outside the island, Conried had a much larger career. His voice helped define Captain Hook and Mr. Darling in Disney's Peter Pan, and he became known for playing proud theatrical men whose confidence could fall apart in a second. Hans Conried passed away on January 5, 1982, at the age of 64. His time on the island was short, but he gave the show one more face fans still remember. Next is Kurt Russell as Jungle Boy. Kurt Russell was also not one of the original castaways, but his appearance has become a fun surprise for fans looking back. He was only 13 years old when he appeared in the 1965 episode Gilligan Meets Jungle Boy. The role was small, but today it feels like a time capsule. That boy later became one of Hollywood's most recognizable movie actors, with a career in action films, westerns, science fiction, family movies, and cult classics. His brief stop on Gilligan's Island gives the show one more unexpected connection to Hollywood then and now. Before we move to the final original cast member, tell us in the comments, did you remember Kurt Russell appeared on Gilligan's Island, or was that a surprise to you? Finally, we come to Tina Louise as Ginger Grant. Tina Louise was born Tina Blacker on February 11, 1934, in New York City. Long before Gilligan's Island, she had built a serious career on Broadway, in film, and as a trained actress. Then, in 1964, she became Ginger Grant. Ginger was the movie star on the island. The red hair, the gowns, the voice, and the glamour. Even in a bamboo hut, she carried herself as if the studio lights were still on. But Tina Louise was never only Ginger. She wanted audiences to remember that she was more than one glamorous sitcom role. That made her relationship with Gilligan's Island complicated. She did not return for the later reunion movies, and for many years, she kept some distance from the show that made her most famous. But her story feels more human than simple. For many classic actors and actresses, one role can become both a blessing and a burden. It can make you unforgettable, but it can also make the world forget everything else you worked for. Still, Ginger Grant remains one of the most recognizable women in classic television. She brought old Hollywood mystery to a silly island sitcom, and that contrast made her unforgettable. In 2026, Tina Louise is still with us. She has lived more quietly in recent years, but she remains the last original castaway still connecting Gilligan's Island to today. After 62 years, most of the original faces are now memories. But Tina Louise is still here, the final living link to the 7 castaways who sailed out on a 3-hour tour and never really left American television. So where are they now after 62 years? Bob Denver gave us innocence. Alan Hale Jr. gave us heart. Dawn Wells gave us warmth. Russell Johnson gave us quiet intelligence. Jim Backus gave us timeless comic timing. Natalie Schaefer gave us elegance and charm. Hans Conried and Kurt Russell gave the island 2 surprising guest star memories. And Tina Louise remains the final living doorway back to that world. That is the real then and now of Gilligan's Island. It is not only about where these actors, actresses, and celebrities are now. It is about why they still matter to the people who grew up watching them. For many fans, Gilligan's Island was never just a sitcom. It was the rerun after school, the theme song everyone knew, and the kind of clean, silly television a whole family could enjoy together. After 62 years, the island is still there. Not on any map, but in the memories of everyone who grew up watching it. Which castaway do you remember most clearly? Gilligan, the skipper, Mary Ann, Ginger, the professor, Mr. Howell, or Lovey? Share your memory in the comments. I read every reply because these stories are really about the years we all grew up with. And if this story brought back a piece of your childhood, please like the video and subscribe. We tell then and now celebrity stories like this every day, and your support helps keep these classic TV memories alive.